As a child, I was so interested in weather. I would do weather briefings in my bedroom for my family. I made them sit on my bed and watch as I flipped maps over and told them what it was going to be like tomorrow. Of course, I got all my information from the National Weather Service. So my strong desire was to be a meteorologist for the National Weather Service. I applied to Penn State University. I grew up in Pennsylvania, born and raised. So it was natural to apply to Penn State University, one of the best meteorology schools in the world, right? And I was accepted. I graduated in January of 1990 from Penn State and started here in North Dakota in Williston. March 12th, 1990 was my first day on the job.
I agree, JP. Penn State, one of the best.
Oh, for sure.
And we're excited to have you joining us.
That degree has paid the bills over the years, Jacob.
Yes.
It is great to be with you, Kevin and Jacob. What an honor to be with you. I've known you, Kevin, for almost my whole time in the Weather Service, and 30 years probably, right?
It's been about 30 years, right? And you've been a true dear friend, but just a liaison, and really bridging the gap at all between the Weather Service and us in the broadcast meteorology realm. I mean, you are the face of weather in North Dakota, if not TV, right? All your Skywarn talks and everything. It's just an absolute pleasure. And sad to see you retire, but it's certainly understood.
But if I can say, the Weather Service can't do it without you. Because you take our message, you get it out to everybody listening to KFYR, and you get our message out, and we really appreciate that. Really a team effort to protect lives and property, right?
And that's the bottom line, right?
Very much a collaborative process.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, after you started in Williston at the Weather Service there, you then moved to Bismarck in 1994, which is a few hours closer drive to Pennsylvania.
I told my parents I'm getting closer, so they were all for it, right?
Yeah. And you've been the warning coordination meteorologist for 22 years now.
22.
And that position includes a lot of outreach. So you've done Skywarn spotter training courses all across the state. You've done school visits and office tours. And that leadership position that you've been in, it's allowed you to guide the Bismarck office and form great relationships with all of your colleagues. So here's what they had to say about you, JP.
So I'm going to remember JP for the fact that not only is he a great meteorologist, but he's the face of the Weather Service, and he truly cares. He truly cares for all the people in Western and Central and really across the entire state of North Dakota. So he connects that meteorology to how can people really protect themselves and take action against dangerous weather. He's passionate about that, and I think that's rubbed off on all of us here in how we serve the folks in North Dakota. He actually helped really get me in the Weather Service. So he sat down with me and actually filled out an application for a student internship program way back when I was in high school, and here I am today working in the Weather Service in my dream career, and JP really helped get me to where I am today.
Usually when a new forecaster comes in, one of the first things he will do is go on a road trip with John Paul. He's showing them how he communicates with other people. It's a great learning experience for them, and always when they come back, it's like, that's one of the best trips I've ever had. So hands-on with the new forecasters when they come in, hands-on with someone like me, because all of this new technology and everything that's coming in, he wants us to be the best that we can be.
JP does not let you cut corners. He has really high expectations for everybody, not just the seasoned forecasters, but the newer ones as well. So I learned really early on that I need to be paying attention to the details. I need to be better with my grammar, which he has made me a lot better at my writing skills, because it's hard writing in meteorology terms sometimes.
He's taught me so much over the years, just incredible professionalism, and really taught me that I can write as a scientist with personality.
His number one desire, I think, is having you as a forecaster being the best that you can be, and our office as an office being the best that we can be, and he'll do whatever it takes to make it that way.
In my opinion, I think he's going to be one of those type of people that is going to be very difficult to replace, because he does add so many different dimensions inside of the office, whether it be with his leadership, trying to take us through tough times, or even just bring in a little bit of a laugh to the operations area during very tense moments, those kind of things. You can always count on JP to be there, step right in, and help us out in any way that we need at that time. I think the thing that really stands out to me about JP is every time that I've gone out with him on a storm survey, you know, typically the night before you're going to have something that has come through and really kind of upheave somebody's life. We go out the next day, and it's really easy to try to stay in your scientific brain and go out there and look at things in a very sanitary way, but JP always adds that human element element back into it. You know, we'll get out there and you'll start looking at the damage and things like that, but he really understands that that's affected somebody's lives and their livelihood, and that really puts that human element back into it for us.
He has dedicated so much of his time and effort to the people of North Dakota, the people that we serve, the people that we work with. So it's been really fun getting to go to outreach events and see how passionate he is. I love especially when we're working with kids because he just is so excited, and the kids get excited, and everybody's just having a really great time learning about the weather, and he really enjoys teaching about the weather, and that's one of those things nobody is as good at as he is. So it's always just really fun to get to be able to witness that.
And if you in North Dakota have ever seen John Paul Martin give a storm spotter talk, you are a lucky person.
And you know what, JP, with you, I mean, you're so relatable to how you connect with the audience, right? I mean, that's our job with Jacob and I on TV, to bring that message home, right? Being on the front line. But when you do your Skywarn talks, I mean, you are entertaining, right? But in a good way where people look and listen to every word you have to say. And there are a lot of people that are incredibly weather aware thanks to you and your ability to talk to people. And on our level, you may not understand weather, but you leave one of the Skywarn talks and people understand and have an appreciation for weather because of you. And that is really awesome.
Thank you, Kevin, for that. You know, I learned over the years that to make learning fun, do a little something silly, do a little weather experiment rather than just stand there and explain everything.
You're so
it goes much farther to people understanding. And especially you mentioned Jacob with the school visits. Just last week I had my last school visit, so I'm going to miss those things. I'm going to miss the people I work with, but I tell them they're a little upset with me because I say I'm actually going to miss the people we serve much more, and I'm going to miss the people. That we've served over the years, people I work with, you guys, but we'll keep a personal relationship going. At least I hope so.
There's no doubt about that, and you know, I think Corey said it too, that it's difficult on some of these surveys you go on, and someone's life has been uprooted, right? And you've got a way of just giving a little bit of peace about it. Weather is weather, right? It's a tragedy when you've got tornadoes and you've got natural disasters like that. And the job has to get done as looking at the damage assessment. But your ability to do that, and again, just to educate people, it's second to none. Really
you know, what gets me is something we thoroughly enjoy. Something maybe we'd use the word love.
Yeah.
Hurts people and kills people.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge. When you go out on a damage survey and people have lost everything, even though they're not injured, they're alive still, but they've lost all their belongings. And it's heartbreaking.
It's very important work what we do on TV, but also what you guys do at the Weather Service office. You give us so much valuable information, and you've guided that office to be the best that it can be. And you've impacted so many of the meteorologists' lives that work there too, whether they've gone on to a different National Weather Service office or they've worked there for 30 years like you with Corey, with one of your other colleagues.
Yeah. Well,
Todd
Hamilton, yeah. Well, and Todd and I have worked together. He was here about a month or two before me got to Bismarck when I came down from Williston, so we've worked a long time. I full credit to my bosses over the years. They've always allowed me to do my thing. Jeff Savadell, the meteorologist in charge today, for the past 16 years, he's allowed me to do my thing. And I appreciate that very much.
Look at your coaching tree. Mentally look at it. It's a huge one, JP, that's for sure.
All right, well, coming up next, what will you do in retirement? We'll find out.